Hi guys, welcome back. It's Tommy with another Starcraft Remastered replay cast and a little bit of a surprise for you. As you can see, it's not a flash replay from the South Korean ladder. This time I've actually found BISU with his AK, with his barcode AK here. So once again, recent replays from 2024 from the South Korean ladder. We have spawning here in the upper right in the yellow. It is BISU and his opponent spawning here in the lower left in the purple. It is also a barcode Zerg, which I'm sadly I don't know who this person is. Perhaps you guys have any more info about this, but it should be a very good replay here in between the two pro players as they're spawning on a 4 spawning location map. So quite good stuff here from 2024. And yeah, a little bit of a surprise, like I told you, no flash this time. It's just going to be BISU, who is opening up here with his pylon pretty much outside of his base. Of course, he's known for his fast expansion build order. Let's just see if this is going to be the case this time with BISU here. Sorry. So yeah, he's going for his pylon. There is his gateway. And let's have a look at the Zerg, who went for an overlord and now is droning up a little bit more. I think that the Zerg is very likely going to be going for a fast expansion build order here. BISU already scouting the map with his probe. Very early scout here by him. And yeah, it looks indeed like this Zerg is saving for a hatchery. So pretty standard stuff here for the Zerg as well. The production tab here in the upper left part showing us everything the two players are doing. And it looks like BISU once again going for a macro oriented game, for a long game. Same can be said actually here for the Zerg as well, as there is no spawning pool yet and no gas, but of course the next building should of course be, and those two there's the spawning pool and gas should follow up very soon. We already have BISU going for his first zealots, so he's looking like he's going to be pretty much aggressive early on versus the opponent. And yeah, let's have a look what exactly his plans are, as he looks like he's also saving up for a expansion very soon. Let's check his main. Only one pylon here, no gas for him as well, as gas is now also started by the Zerg, and the probe has of course seen the build order here from the opponent, so he knows pretty much what is going on. So I believe of course BISU is going to react with a expansion of his own here versus the opponent, versus the Zerg, and slowly but steadily his first zealot is moving out onto the map. I believe he's going to try to secure the second expansion point as we're closing in towards the timer. So BISU, knowing of course the timing from the second expansion, just roaming around with his zealot. And hold on, actually I believe this probe has got a kill here, so one drone has actually been killed. Perhaps we're going to watch after the replay what exactly happened here. I believe a little bit of a miss micro by the Zerg. And interesting enough, another hatchery here for the Zerg, so he might try an early harassment versus BISU with mass Zerglings. BISU even nicely hiding his zealot here behind this antenna or a satellite dish or whatever this is. So very nice stuff here by BISU, as he might be lucky to snipe some of the drones from the opponent here as well. The ramp is pretty much shot, but of course one zealot will be great versus all of those Zerglings. And indeed more Zerglings are getting produced with speed, so the Zerg might try an early harassment versus the opponent, as BISU is reacting with 2 more zealots and 1 cannon. So let's have a look if he's going to be lucky once again to snipe another drone. Really inflicting good damage towards the opponent. One Zergling has been sniped and the other Zerglings will be able, of course, in the end to fend this off, to snipe this. So very nice early game we have here. Let's see if indeed the Zerg is going to commit here forward and pretty much send wave after wave of Zerglings towards his opponent's base. As one cannon has finished here, but the zealots are in position. We even have a weapons 1 upgrade here for zealots. Sorry, for BISU, very early upgrade here by him. But as you can see on the minimap, the Zerg pretty much sending all of his troops here. So it is indeed a fast attack move here by the Zerg. No tier 2 upgrade here for him. Pretty much throwing everything he has forward. It's actually looking really good, as there's only 1 cannon. So let's just see if the Zerg can commit here forward and pretty much penetrate the base from BISU. So BISU in some serious trouble early on, as the zealots will have to of course fight some probes have to be pulled to give more protection towards the main entrance here. But yeah, the Zerg pretty much throwing everything here as BISU tries to rebuild some cannons, but the reinforcements are nicely pulling here forward for the Zerg, and BISU pretty much lost many of those zealots, and now only one zealot is fighting. So even more probes have to be pulled here for him in order to create a barrier against those Zerglings, and now the reinforcements are even pulling more and more forward. So BISU early on in some serious trouble. But notice that there's only 11 workers here for the Zerg, as he's inflicting pretty good damage, but sadly for him the Zerglings have fallen. However, reinforcements are pulling here forward for him. The cannon has finished. It's really important here for BISU, as we even have a interesting GG here for the Zergs. What exactly is he doing? Perhaps just fooling around a little bit. Let's check his main once again. Just massive amounts of hatchery with those Zerglings, and we actually have 2 cannons now. So those 2 cannons can one-shot one Zergling. We even have a Protoss target here for the BISU, but the real damage is of course going to happen here at the main entrance from BISU. So BISU once again calling some workers. Notice that the Zerg has also went up into workers, so perhaps he's going to calm down a little bit and go for a more macro-orientated game, but he's of course behind tech-wise. He is actually going for a Hydra-Risk, so he might just add some Hydra-Risk into order to have some range. And let's see if he's going to commit the cannon already shooting, but of course it would be pretty much suicide to attack here, as even the probes have been pulled once again here for BISU, and luckily here for BISU his weapons 1 upgrade looks like he's going to finish here in time. So we have a very nice build order here by the Zerg. Really strong stuff here by him, very aggressive, almost taking out BISU. But yeah, BISU with those zealots, with those probes, being able to hold on. And let's see how the game is going to unfold, what the next steps are going to be. A gateway here for BISU. Like I told you, he has the Stargate, so with that he would have of course great map awareness, map control. There it is, there's the first Corsair moving out here for him. The first Overlords will be targeted very soon. I believe this is exactly why he went for a Hydra-Risk then, in order to give protection towards those Overlords. But the first one is about to get snapped very soon here, so good stuff by BISU finally. And he is even adding more and more upgrades here. We have armor upgrade and even speed for the Zealot, so very early upgrades here for BISU, as he might even try to be more lucky here versus the Overlord. So a second Corsair is also on the way. Pretty good stuff by BISU. Like I told you, could actually split those Corsairs, but the Zerg very smartly adding those Hydra-Risk in order to give protection towards the Overlords here. And we even have finally the tier 2 upgrade for the Zerg, so we might see some Lurkers, we might see some Mutalisk. Let's see what exactly the moves are going to be here for the Zerg. He's also nicely using Borrow here for his Zerglings, so this can be very deadly against so many Zealots. But remember, there is upgrade for those Zealots, as BISU just keeps on patrolling the map, just keeps on scouting the Zerg to see exactly what he is up to, and adding a Templar Archives, of course. Templar Archive with high Templar Storms, we've seen it in the previous replays. Those Storms very deadly versus the Zerg and also versus the Terran. But hold on, actually we do have a move out here, and there's the reaction from the Zerg, and now the floodgates are pretty much open. So very smart move here by the Zerg. He could straight move forward in towards the main, but he's deciding to attack the cannons. And now I believe he's going to go for the probes. The probes are nicely blocking here the entrance, and once again a Borrow here by the Zerg. But I believe he could have of course just bypassed the cannons and just went straight towards the main here from BISU, sniping so many workers. And a nice cat and mouse gameplay here by the Zerg. But BISU looks like he's not going to get fooled by this. He's moving straight out towards the newly established base here from the Zerg. So yeah, his Corsairs will even back up this attack straight forward here. One Sunken is about to get finished. The Hydras will be busy with the Corsairs, but in come the first Zealots, and they might get a great surround. They even are attacking another hatchery, and they try to of course to surround all of those Hydra-Risk here. So great job here by BISU. Remember, the Zealots have one weapons upgrade, as one Hydra-Risk after the other is falling, but the Sunkens have finished, and with that I believe the harassment is pretty much over. He's trying of course to snipe more of those Hydra-Risk. We do indeed have a Sunken, the Sunken with some great damage, but the main looks like it's pretty much exposed. However, luckily here for the Zerg, some Hydralisks do hatch, and BISU is pretty much going to suicide those zealots versus the drones. Going to be lucky to snipe one drone after the other, inflicting good economic damage towards the opponent. So 2 more drones have been sniped, and with that we have passed indeed the 10-minute mark. So a very exciting early game, a very aggressive early game by both players. Let's see who exactly is going to win this, as we actually have a Dark Templar now here for BISU, just blocking those Hydralisks a little bit and even spanking them a little bit. And yeah, let's see what's going to happen here, as the Zerg is now once again pretty much going to commit forward, but he needs an Overlord to have vision, and those Overlords are pretty much at home. A little bit of a miss micro here by the Zerg, as he's pretty much committing here forward to attack, but we do have Zealots for BISU waiting for him, and this Dark Templar is going to be very likely the MVP here, sniping one Hydralisk after the other, but actually BISU not committing here forward. He's pretty much relying now onto those High Templar Storms. I believe he's going to go with the DT straight towards the mineral line from the opponent. So yeah, the Zealots should be fine here to handle this, as so many Hydralisks will fall. But a great position here for those Hydralisks, clumping them up together, and look at that, they're really tanky, and in the end they will take more and more damage, of course. It was a great position. However, now the DT is moving forward, sniping some units, 3 kills onto this one, but in the end the Overlords are here. But the Zerg really needs speed for those Overlords, as he's also nicely sneaking an expansion here at the low right part. So let's see how BISU is going to react towards that, going for more upgrades. We even have some Mutalisk here, interesting enough for the Zerg. I believe he's going to use those Mutalisk in order to snipe the important units here for BISU. The Mutalisk very good versus the High Templars, very fast moving unit, and of course you can snipe one High Templar after the other, as we also have the upgrade for the energy for the High Templars, and we might see an engagement here into the middle of the map. So BISU is trying to get a good position towards those Hydralisks. Let's have a look at the upgrades for the Hydralisks. Still 0-0. BISU should have armor 1, and he's actually even going for armor 2, so interesting upgrades. He's of course known to go for a weapons upgrade too, but I believe he's going to use those Zealots to be more tankier, to be more in the mix of the fight, to be more stronger. And yeah, let's see what's going to happen. Still the Zerg being aggressive, and he also has now Mutalisk out, but BISU having Dragoons here. Let's see what this is going to happen. There are 3 cannons here, there's a Corsari out, so the Zerg might take some damage. BISU is pretty much ignoring this, as he's moving out with his Zealots, with his Dragoons. We even have a High Templars defensive storm here, so great stuff here by BISU. But he still decides to patrol the map. I believe he's going to try to intercept the Mutalisk here from the opponent, and at the same time he's expanding here, so he decides to retreat in order to give more time for his expansion. The Dragoons will be sent back to give protection towards the newly established base, and as soon as the cannons finish, I believe he is very likely going to move out. But the same can be said here for the Zerg. Quite a aggressive and a nice macro Zerg here, as we have it on the map. So still a good position here for the Zerg. Even though he's behind a little bit into supply, he has came back to 52 workers. His Hydralisks are very much out here, and let's have a look what's going to happen here. You just need to be careful not to be psionic stormed by BISU. That's exactly why he's retreating a little bit, and at the same time for him is giving time for his newly established base. The Mutalisk tried of course to move here forward to snipe a High Templar, but in the end BISU will hold, as now we see BISU GGing, and the same can be said here for the Zerg. So I believe they're just teasing each other a little bit. Perhaps they know each other, and yeah, perhaps it's a training match, but I don't believe that, given the fact that he's quite aggressive early on, especially here by the Zerg, as he's trying to get some great position for his Hydralisk. He might snipe the pylon, but there's still energy from this other pylon. Let's have a look if he's going to be lucky to snipe the High Templar. He is indeed, but he has already taken some damage out of the storm, and I believe the Hydralisk will be sacrificed here, but in the end they will do their job. Or will they? The Nexus falling really deep, and somehow BISU being able to save it here with 1 HP, literally 1 HP and some shield, and of course it's the GG here for BISU. So what a great move. Also very lucky move, let's be honest. Those Hydralisk very smartly being used here by the Zerg in order to snipe the Nexus, and literally 1 HP here for this Nexus. And of course you can see the manner GG from BISU, as now the Mutalisk might get suicided here, but in the end BISU immediately reacting with a preemptive High Templar Storm to fend them off, and slowly but steadily the shield is regenerating here for BISU. But I believe the Zerg is going to very likely going to try to suicide some more units here in order to kill this Nexus, and the probes are actually mining here, so what an important move. But he's already at 171 supply. I believe he's going to try to even abandon the Nexus. He's going to invite the Zerg to attack it. Even the Corsairs are dealing good damage now, and BISU looking like he has established a very strong army here. 170 supply for him to move out. Let's see where exactly he's going to decide to attack. There are some Hydras getting spreaded here. I believe the Zerg is going to try to go for some Lurkers very soon, and there they are. But there is a observer, or there should be an observer here for BISU. There it is, as we see another GG from the Zerg. And in comes the move forward. BISU is going to wait for those High Templars. He has 3 High Templars here, each can cast 2 storms. And let's have a look at the attack. A great spread indeed by the Zerg. We see even a counter attack now finally happening here, but the real action is of course happening here into this location as the storm is getting casted. And I believe the Hydras might have sniped the Nexus there. And let's see what's going to happen here as more and more damage is being taken here by the Zerg. The BISU has his units nicely clumped up together. The Mutalisks are moving forward, but a little bit late here for the opponent. And let's not forget that BISU has 2 armor here for him, and he's going to be able to snap so many units. The reinforcements are moving forward, and finally this is the real GG here from the Zerg. Did he snap? Yes, he did snap the Nexus, so good stuff by him. But in the end, BISU having of course a way too overwhelmingly and strong army here, moving everything forward. So a nice game here by both players. A very lucky move by BISU, sniping those Hydras here. A winning move, I believe. So many Hydras have been sacrificed here by the Zerg. In the end, of course, it was a very funny game, GGing out for both players. Let's check the stats very quick. Like I told you, I have no idea who this Zerg is, but he played very well. Perhaps it's Jaedong, who knows? Maybe it's Sax3. Yeah, sadly I don't know. Maybe you guys know more than me. And yeah, let me just click once again left and right. So quite a funny game indeed, but also BISU overwhelmingly his opponent with 170 supply. And once again showing us the importance from the High Temper Storms. And very good upgrades with 2 armor and 1 weapons upgrades. I believe the Zerg didn't really have any upgrades. He just pretty much massed everything and threw it towards BISU. So a very good game by both players. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm going to try to cast even more games with BISU. Perhaps I'm going to mix BISU and Flash games. I'm also looking for Jaedong games on the South Korean ladder. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. This is Tommy signing out.